26. I'll leave today's agenda on the screen whilst I begin the TELx Council overview. These recurring meetings provide several critical functions for our governance, provide transparency to our community, create structure for our forum, provide authors the ability to present their proposals to the Council and community, allow the Council and community to review, debate and refine these proposals so they can get to a place where we have consensus and mutual understanding, provide a medium for regular TELx ecosystem updates, ensure consistent communication between Council members and the community, and allow the community to directly engage in Q&A with the Council members. The TELx Council is a local governance organisation with authority over and duties towards TELx operational rules, system health and social well-being. Overview: to accept, develop and vote on TELx IPs, to change or introduce new elements to TELx, to alter TELx harvesting rules, and be responsible for generally representing the interests of and informing their constituency in matters pertaining to TELx. Duties: the TELx Council is required to 1. Plan, finance and coordinate implementation of improvement steps. 2. Regulate the flow of TEL issuance to allow TELx to be harvested by liquidity miners. 3. Introduce, alter and enforce TELx operational rules, including harvesting information, community maintenance and construction. 4. Inform miners of the activities and outcomes related to TELx and results from any snapshot votes. These snapshot votes are a requirement for all Council members, and in order for a proposal to move forward, there needs to be a 5 or 6 majority vote and all 6 members voting within 5 days from the start of it being posted to Snapshot. And with that, it's time for a recap of the last meeting. Eric.
Thank you, Boo. Good evening. Let me see. Yes, the recap. The TELx Council reviewed the TELx Merkle delivery roadmap, which outlined 13 steps toward launching new liquidity pools and eventually deploying Merkle on the Telcoin network. Also, Merkle API integration has successfully passed initial testing on Base and Polygon, and though further testing, upgrade instructions, new contract addresses, and the creation of TELv3 pools are still outstanding. The TELx liquidity framework is nearing finalization, with the primary unresolved issue being how rewards should be split during the migration from old pools to new ones. And the proposed 4-week migration model suggests allocating 75% of rewards to new pools and 25% to old pools to incentivize faster movement to TELv3 while allowing users time to migrate. And I think we'll look into that further on in this call also. Community feedback on the reward split will be gathered through Telegram before the proposal moves to Snapshot, which I think it already did by the time of this meeting. For TGIP, stakers and liquidity miners must ensure they are delegated, staked, or subscribed before the voting snapshot to secure voting power. We talked about that. Then the vote requires a 20% quorum with around 1.8 billion TEL currently delegated and approximately 800 million TEL needed for the staker quorum. Liquidity miners hold about 1.3 billion TEL equivalent voting power, meaning roughly 261 million TEL equivalent is required to meet the quorum threshold. This was the recap of last meeting, and a lot has happened in the meantime. So, yeah, good to go to point 3 of the agenda. Boo.
Okay, thanks, Eric. So let's start with the TELx liquidity framework proposal status. Now, Ty was going to present, but he's ill today, so get well soon, Ty. Hope you're back on your feet soon. Next slide. So first of all, as you can see, the snapshot proposal passed. And just to remind everyone what the proposal was about, the proposal describes the restructuring of TELx liquidity around TEL v3 and Uniswap v4, standardizing liquidity pools across Ethereum, Polygon, and Base. Each chain will include TELETH and TELEUSD, and Polygon will also include an EUSD EMXM pool replacing USDC EMXN. Incentives will be reduced to 500,000 TEL per pool per week, with rewards funded by reallocating existing TEL emissions. Incentives will be distributed through Merkle. Liquidity providers will need to migrate TEL v2 to TEL v3 and re-enter eligible pools. Existing balance of pools will remain active, but will no longer receive incentives. Any questions at this stage? And if someone could just have a look out on the forum, that'd be great.
And right now.
Good. All right, next slide. Okay, so now we're going to go through the TELx dependency roadmaps that I've put together to show what the TELx Council has been up to and what it has planned. We'll start with the completed activities. We've already mentioned the TELx Liquidity Framework proposal, which is now finished. And shortly after the last call, we put together a poll for the community to gauge the transition approach. The clear winner at 81% was to move all incentives over to new pools rather than have a 75-25% split, as I think we originally discussed. So thanks to everyone who voted in the poll on Telegram. And the next slide shows the web unification project, which is running concurrently. So as we go through that, we can see very shortly we'll be getting the TELx pages built. And we'll find the information when Blue Lights tells the TELx Council all about it. The TELx Council will review the pages, make sure everything's okay. And after that, we'll probably do a TELx community demonstration in this call. And at some point after that, I don't know the timescales, but we'll have the entire web unification go live. So that's all to look forward to. And now the main dependency slide. So this one's a bit complicated, so follow me. So TGIP2 snapshot started and finished, everything was okay. And we know on the Platform and Treasury Council next call, there will be either a date provided or certainly some more up-to-date information on the decision of when the upgrade is going to take place. So we'll look forward to hearing what they say, and that will be next Thursday, not tomorrow, but next Thursday. Once we have that information, we've got two tasks that can happen in parallel. One of which was write pool upgrade instructions. Although I did write these slides at the weekend, I might have an update on that already. And we think that the TELx Council should give 2 weeks notice to the community of what's going to happen. So I think that's reasonable. And at some point after that, we don't know the dates yet, but the TEL3 upgrade is going to begin. Moving down a bit further, we then get three things happening in parallel. We'll be removing rewards from the existing pools. The council will instruct the TAO to create the new pools, and will provide the new contract addresses to Merkle. The TAO will then go and create the new pools, and the TELx Council will provide the pool information to the community. Very shortly afterwards, we expect the liquidity miners to add liquidity to the pools. And kind of in parallel, maybe slightly afterwards, the TELx Council will create the Merkle campaigns, the initial campaigns, and then the TELx pools will be live on Ethereum, Polygon, and Base. Moving on to the next slide. So this is post Telcoin mainnet go live. So we mentioned last week that at some point there's got to be the technical and commercial discussions with Merkle, because so far we've only had the discussions regarding what went on in the POC and the three original or initial chains that's going to go live. We will instruct the TAO to create the TELETH and TELEUSD pools on Telcoin network. Shortly afterwards, we expect liquidity miners to add liquidity to the pools. And yet to be discussed, and we'll probably see how things are, the TELx Council will need to rebalance rewards to include the new pools. So yeah, we'll see if we still need to include, for example, providing liquidity rules on Ethereum, because at the moment that's not incentivized at all. But we'll make a call then. After that, we will configure the initial Merkle campaigns, and then the Telcoin network TELx pools goes live. Now, of course, we've put the things in about Merkle there. We could actually take out, if we need to, the original Merkle discussions and the configure Merkle campaigns for Telcoin network. As long as we've got the pools there, we can still do the rewards on Telcoin network the way they are at the moment. So we can be configurable. We don't need to hold anything up from a TELx Council perspective. We can do things either way. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that there was an update to the pool upgrade instructions. I'm going to head over to a browser now to go through the options in the readiness checklist. Right, let's see if I can end the presentation. Here we go. So first thing to note, the official TEL3 token upgrade site, tel3.telcoin.network, has got two tabs available, the TGIP2 vote, which is now complete, and the TEL3 upgrade instructions. And if we go down a bit further, there's obviously useful information there. But what I want to point out right now, I'm going to start over, is there's a specific TELx tab, or Liquidity TELx tab, which has got some information in. So where's your TEL right now? I'm going to start with Polygon. I'll come back to Ethereum. All three are of similar format, and we will go through this, but this is your first look at it and the first time members of the council have seen this. So typical steps for the liquidity miners would be to 1, close and withdraw your liquidity stroke TELx position, so your TEL sits back into the wallet you control, such as MetaMask. Once the TEL's back in your wallet, you can upgrade it on Polygon. There's no bridging needed. Okay. Make sure you got gas in that wallet for the transaction. So on Polygon, it will be POL. When the window opens, only use the official association upgrade page. So ignore everything you see on X unless it comes from official sources, nothing from Telegram. This is a site to look at unless we tell you otherwise. After upgrading, you can rejoin the pools that support the upgraded TEL once they're available. And the association will redeploy TELx for upgraded TEL. Watch for official channels. So that's Polygon. In the same vein, on Base, it's virtually the same. I won't read it all, but it's close or withdraw your liquidity, make sure TEL's back in your wallet, keep some gas in that wallet. Of course, on Base, it's going to be ETH that you'll need, so make sure you've got some ETH in your wallet. And the same as before, watch out for official channels. Now I'm going to do Ethereum last. So 1, close and withdraw your liquidity stroke TELx position. Well, of course, there isn't a TELx position on Ethereum at the moment. So you'll just be withdrawing your liquidity if you've got your TEL in a TEL ETH pool on Ethereum outside of TELx. Once it's back in your wallet, you upgrade it on Ethereum, no bridging needed. Keep some gas in that wallet. Obviously, it'll be ETH for Ethereum. When the window opens, only use the official upgrade page and further instructions. So it's all three things virtually identical apart from the gas in the wallet. Okay, that's all I've got. So are there any questions about anything that I've been through today before we go to Q&A?
No, I just want to say this looks great, Boo. Seeing this for the first time, but it's, yeah, looking great. Really clear.
Okay, well, it's probably going to be a quick one then. So over to Q&A. I don't have another slide for Q&A, but last chance for anyone if they've got any questions. Otherwise, I guess we all look forward to next Thursday and seeing the update in the Platform and Treasury Council call. And we'll, of course, be here in 2 weeks' time.
There's nothing in the chat at this point.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to quit whilst I'm ahead. 20-minute call. We'll give you back your time. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Speak to you all in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.